Hi, I'm Nathan. I go by Peteparker, and every week I do comic book reviews because that's the rule around my house. So this review is going to be Fear Itself, Uncanny X-Force #1. It's a Fear Itself tie-in with Wolverine's team of mutants who tend to kill people because it's easier than trying to keep them alive and still win. I could just complained about the situation here between this book and this book. Both of them have Wolverine doing different things in the Fear Itself event at the same time, more or less. But he's in different outfits in totally different parts of the country, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to believe that all this is happening at the same time. This is written by Rob Williams, and the art is by Simone Bianchi, and it's really pretty. You may recognize a lot of this from other Uncanny work, I think. Or maybe I'm thinking of the X-Force work. But yeah, it definitely looks familiar. Deadpool's part in this is really good. You get how crazy he is, which is nice. They don't always play that up. A lot of times it's played more of an angle that he's just silly or jokey. And in this, you really get the idea that he is actually nuts, certifiable nuts. Basically, the Purifiers are killing people, instilling fear and killing mutants, or trying to kill all the superpowered beings. And Uncanny X-Force is trying to, I guess they don't call themselves Uncanny, but they're trying to track down these guys and stop them. I didn't really find the story itself to be all that interesting or compelling, but the artwork was good, and I like this team in general. There's some kind of weird stuff, like this shot is generally really good. Like, all the up-close stuff is really great. And then you look back in the back here, and Wolverine's a little thick, and he's got a kind of weird smirk on his face, and they're all in the midst of action, but these like 3 people in the back are just standing watching because I guess they already did their part or something. So it has kind of some odd points here and there, but generally the art is really good. And this one's really good. Wolverine's interrogating a guy, and you really get the view of the third claw that he always does or whatever, slowly coming out to stab the guy in the face or whatever. Apparently he really did kill him, which is nice too, because they're actually killing people in here, killing the bad guys, the Purifiers or whatever. But the Purifiers have their own like super people, which is weird too, because they're just complaining about how the super people brought all this Fear Itself garbage to Earth or whatever, and created hell on Earth. But at the same time, they have their own like super powered people that are going to go up against the X-Force team. Anyway, the art was really good. The story was a little convoluted, but it has some elements that are really awesome, like Deadpool's general sayings here and there. It's also weird to see Warren Worthington, Archangel, Angel, whatever you call him, totally like back in his right mind again and helping the team, because in the Uncanny X-Force series itself, he is totally like gone, like the apocalypse seed within him or whatever totally took him over, and they're in another alternate dimension or whatever, trying to save him. So apparently this happened after they got back from saving him, and apparently he gets saved, so there you go. He doesn't die, he doesn't get taken over, he's not the new Apocalypse. I guess that's a big spoiler for this, but it's weird to see him in there again after being so uncontrollable for so long now. So that's it, really. What to give it, that's the hard part with this, because the art is really good and it has some elements that are good, so I don't want to give it an average like 3 out of 5, but it's hard to call it a 4 out of 5 because there's so many elements that aren't great either. But I'll give it 4 out of 5 anyway. We'll see how it turns out. Maybe the next ones and the whole story altogether will be really good, but again, the giant logo at the top sucks for anybody listening to that. And at the same time, this doesn't really feel like it ties into Fear Itself all that much. yes, these people are being crazy and they're generating fear around the world, but at the same time, that is such a loose connection. You could say anybody that was holding a gun to somebody or holding a gun up in the air is creating fear and therefore should have its own fear itself spin-off or whatever. You know, it's a very loose connection. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, there you go. 4 out of 5. Fear itself, Uncanny X-Force #1. Hopefully it's going to get more strong in the story department, and the art will continue to be good, and then it'll be really great. But maybe not. If you like this review, check out my other reviews under Spidey207 on YouTube or Peteparker elsewhere. Otherwise, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.